My name is Nicole, and I am 34 years old. I stood in my wedding dress facing empty chairs where my family should have sat. Months of planning down the drain as they chose my sister's surprise party across town instead. My phone buzzed with a Facebook notification, a post from my mom showing the celebration captioned, "My daughter is number one." I typed back quickly, "Having paid off all my debts yet." Her reply exploded in the comments, accusing me of jealousy and ruining the day. The family panicked, flooding my phone with 22 missed calls. But that was just the beginning. Scrolling deeper, I realized my sister had hacked my accounts for months, spying on messages to twist everything against me. I grabbed my laptop right there in the venue, fingers flying across the keys, time to turn her game against her. Before I detail the story, I want to know what time you're listening, and from what city. I'm happy to see my journey spread so far. I grew up in a Seattle suburb on Pine Avenue where neat lawns hid messy family truths. Our house had 3 bedrooms, a tech-heavy den, and a dynamic that everyone felt but nobody named. My parents had a favorite, and it wasn't me. My sister, 3 years younger, had a knack for stealing the spotlight. She was the Instagram star, always posing for photos that my mom, a high school teacher, helped stage with perfect lighting. My dad, a construction engineer, bought her ring lights and tripods, calling it investing in her future. I was the coder hunched over my laptop building apps in high school to pay for my own gear. My straight A's and hackathon wins got a nod, maybe a "good job, Nicole," before they rushed to her latest influencer event. She got thousands of followers by junior year. I got part-time gigs to save for college. Our differences could have balanced us out, but instead, they built a wall. Mom saw her younger self in my sister's charm. Those two would spend weekends at Pike Place Market scouting aesthetic backdrops for her posts. Dad never missed her brand collabs, but my coding competitions always a work emergency. Once I overheard Mom say, "Nicole's fine on her own, she's self-sufficient." That word stung like it meant I didn't need attention or love, just a pat on the back before they turned to her again. I met my husband in a college programming class at the University of Washington. He was a mechanical engineering major, quiet but sharp, noticing my work when others didn't. We bonded over late-night debug sessions and coffee runs, building something real, slow, steady, grounded. 7 years later, we were engaged, saving every penny for a life together. My best friend since 10th grade, who'd been there through every family letdown, was my rock. She'd listen when Mom forgot my birthday to throw my sister a follower milestone party, or when Dad skipped my graduation for her sponsored beach shoot. "They'll see your worth one day," she'd say, her voice fierce. Those words kept me going. Years before, I'd helped my sister set up her online presence, her website, her Instagram grid, even her analytics dashboard. She'd begged me, saying she'd never figure it out without my tech skills. I spent hours coding her site, thinking it was a way to connect. But she never thanked me, just posted her first viral reel and moved on. My parents praised her hustle, while my freelance projects paying my own tuition got a shrug. It wasn't just neglect. It felt like I was the backdrop to her spotlight. Through college, and after I built a career as a software developer working long hours at a Seattle startup, my sister's following grew. She was now a full-time influencer, landing deals with local brands. My parents acted like her posts were Nobel-worthy, while my promotion to lead developer barely got a mention at dinner. I told myself my wedding would be different. They wouldn't miss the one day that was supposed to be mine. I clung to that hope, picturing Mom in the front row, Dad walking me down the aisle, my best friend by my side, fixing my veil. But patterns don't break easily. Every milestone of mine seemed to trigger a crisis for her. My college graduation, she had a brand deal fallout that needed Mom and Dad's full attention. My first big project launch. She announced a new sponsorship and they threw her a dinner instead. My fiancé, with his dry humor, called it her standard time. The world revolved around her schedule and I was just living in it. He saw through it, but I kept hoping my family would show up for me just once. I met another coder at work, a guy who'd become a close ally. He was brilliant with cybersecurity, always tinkering with tools to track online footprints. We'd swap tips over lunch, laughing about how our skills could outsmart most social media scams. My fiance's best friend, a guy we'd hang out with at game nights, also noticed things about my sister. He'd met her at a local influencer event and mentioned she seemed off, too calculated, always working the room. I brushed it off then, but those moments stuck with me. Looking back, I should have seen the signs. My sister wasn't just stealing attention, she was orchestrating it. Every time I got close to a moment of my own, she'd pull some stunt to yank it away. I didn't realize how deep her manipulation went until I started digging, and what I found made my stomach drop. She wasn't just outshining me, she'd been pulling strings for years, using my own tech against me to keep me in her shadow. That hope for my wedding day carried me to our weekly family dinner on Pine Avenue, a tradition Mom insisted on to keep up appearances. Nicholas had proposed the night before with a simple ring, the kind you save for months to afford. My hands shook as I shared the news, voice steady but heart racing. "We're getting married on November 15th next year," I said, watching their faces. Mom barely looked up from her phone, muttering, "That's nice. Nicole, have you thought about venues? They book fast." Dad nodded absently, focused on his steak. "Congrats. Market's tight, so don't expect much help with costs." My sister's reaction hit harder. A quick smirk gone in a blink, but it twisted something in my gut. I pushed it down, telling myself it was just old insecurities. Weeks later, the pattern kicked in. My sister announced a surprise party for her biggest career milestone yet on the exact same day, November 15th. She claimed she'd landed a massive brand deal, telling everyone she'd paid off her student loans, a $20,000 triumph. Mom and Dad lit up, planning her event like it was the Oscars. "It's a one-day-only venue deal," she said, eyes sliding to me with that practiced innocence. The only Saturday they had. The lie was obvious. Seattle venues don't book like that, but calling her out would make me the bitter sister, a role I'd played too long. I kept planning my wedding with Nicholas, budgeting every dollar for a small waterfront venue near Puget Sound. We picked menus, wrote invitations by hand, and imagined our families together. But cracks started showing. Mom canceled dress shopping, citing parent-teacher conferences that never clashed with my sister's shoots. Dad promised to check caterers but sent his assistant instead. My best friend, who was organizing the wedding logistics, seemed distracted, missing calls and meetings. Extended family, cousins, aunts who'd RSVP'd yes, began backing out with vague excuses. "Your Aunt Linda has a conflict," Mom said casually. "She'll try to make it." Then it got worse. Logging into my Facebook one night, I saw a notification, a tagged post from my sister. She'd used a photo of me from a tech conference, claiming it was her at a coding workshop to pitch herself to a tech brand. My stomach dropped. I checked her portfolio site, one I'd built years ago, and found she'd registered a trademark under my name, Nicole Miller, for her influencer brand, passing it off as hers. She'd even stolen a side project I'd pitched at work, a fitness app prototype, and claimed it as her innovative idea to land a deal. The audacity floored me. I called my best friend that night, needing her to ground me. "Something's off," I said, voice tight. "She's using my work, my face, my name." She hesitated, then admitted she'd been helping with my sister's party, pulled in by promises of networking with Seattle influencers. "I didn't know she'd go this far," she said, sounding torn. "I found some emails she's been talking to your cousins, saying you're too caught up in your wedding to care about family." That hit like a punch. My sister wasn't just stealing my moment, she was rewriting my reputation. I dug deeper, fueled by a mix of hurt and suspicion. Using a public analytics tool Brandon had shown me, I traced her Instagram activity. She'd been logging into my Facebook from an unfamiliar device for months, posting subtle comments from my account, things like, "So proud of my sister, wish I could keep up," to make me look jealous. Those posts had reached our family group chats, and cousins I'd been close to stopped texting me, assuming I was the one pulling away. She'd orchestrated it all to isolate me, ensuring her party would outshine my wedding. Nicholas sat with me as I pieced it together, his jaw tight. "She's playing dirty," he said, "but we'll figure this out." I nodded, but inside I was reeling. My best friend, still conflicted, sent me a screenshot proof my sister had emailed a brand claiming my app idea as hers. "I don't trust her anymore," she texted. "I'm digging for more." Her shift gave me a spark of hope, but the betrayal still stung. How could my family not see through her? Why was I always the one left explaining myself? I confronted my sister over the phone, keeping my voice calm but firm. "You stole my work, my name, my photo. Why?" Her laugh was sharp, dismissive. "Not everything's about you, Nicole. I'm just building my brand. You're the tech genius. Why do you care?" I pressed harder. "You planned your party on my wedding day. You're posting as me to make me look bad." She paused, then snapped, "If you're so worried about family picking me, maybe you're not as close to them as you think." The call ended with her hanging up, leaving me shaking, not with sadness, but with clarity. She'd been doing this for years. I reached out to Mom, hoping she'd see reason. "You can't seriously skip my wedding for her party," I said, gripping the phone. Her sigh was heavy, practiced. "Nicole, why do you always make this a competition? Her deal's a big moment. She only gets one shot at this." The irony burned. My wedding was a one-shot too, but it didn't seem to matter. "I'm not changing my date," I said, voice steady. "I hope you choose right." Dad was worse, barely listening, mumbling about work before saying, "We'll try to make both." Try. That word felt like a slap. As the wedding neared, the defections piled up. Cousins texted regrets, citing my sister's party. My best friend missed another planning session, though she promised to make it up. I sat with Nicholas, staring at our guest list, now half what it was. "They're choosing her," I said, the truth sinking in. But then I checked my email, a forwarded message from Brandon, the coder friend. It was a financial alert tied to my sister's public accounts, showing she hadn't paid off any loans. Instead, she owed $35,000 hidden behind her curated posts. My pulse raced. This was the crack in her facade and my chance to turn the tables. That financial alert from Brandon burned in my mind as the wedding day loomed. November 15th arrived with Seattle's typical drizzle, but the waterfront venue sparkled with string lights we'd hung ourselves to save costs. I stood in the bridal suite, smoothing my dress, staring at a mirror that reflected only me, no mom fussing over my veil, no best friend adjusting my train. The makeup artist tried small talk, her voice trailing off when I said, "It's just me today." Her sympathetic glance stung worse than words. I checked my phone, half expecting a last-minute text from Mom or Dad, some sign they'd choose me. Nothing, just silence and a hollow ache where family should have been. Nicholas's parents stepped in, filling the void with quiet warmth. His mom, a nurse with a gentle smile, adjusted my veil and whispered, "You're stunning, Nicole, our son's lucky." His dad, a professor who loved bad puns, cracked a joke about coding love into algorithms, making me laugh, despite the knot in my chest. Their kindness was a lifeline, but it couldn't erase the empty seats waiting outside. The venue coordinator approached, clipboard in hand, her face tight. "We've got 21 empty chairs on your side," she said softly. "Should we rearrange?" I swallowed hard and nodded. "Make it less obvious, please." As I waited for the ceremony, Nicholas's best friend, who'd met my sister at an influencer event, knocked on the door. "Nicholas sent me," he said, offering his arm. "No bride walks alone today." His formal gesture lightened the moment, but my heart sank as the doors opened. The venue glowed, flowers, ribbons, chairs, now balanced, thanks to quick reshuffling, but the absence on my side hit like a physical weight. Guests turned their smiles polite, but curious, whispering questions I could feel, but not hear. I locked eyes with Nicholas at the altar, his steady gaze pulling me forward, step by heavy step. The ceremony blurred past vows we'd written, rings exchanged, our first kiss as husband and wife. His words, "I'll be your family," always brought a lump to my throat. The officiant spoke of love uniting families, and I bit my lip to keep from scoffing only Nicholas's family was here. The applause felt warm but one-sided, coming mostly from his relatives. We moved to the reception, the DJ struggling to fill the half-empty room with energy. Tables meant for my family sat untouched, their centerpieces mocking the RSVPs that never showed. During our first dance, Nicholas held me close, whispering, "This is our beginning. No one else matters." I wanted to believe him, but my phone vibrated in my dress pocket, pulling me back. I ignored it at first, swaying to the music, but by the cake cutting, it wouldn't stop. I stepped aside, heart racing, and checked the screen. 22 missed calls, mostly from Mom, some from Dad, even a few from cousins. Then I saw the Facebook notification. Mom had posted a photo from my sister's surprise party across town, captioned, "My daughter is #1 celebrating her big win." It showed her posing with Balloon's family, cheering my best friend in the background, arranging decor. My fingers moved before I could think typing a comment. Having paid off all my debts yet, it was sharp-pointed, aimed at the lie I knew was coming. Mom's reply popped up instantly, public for all to see. "Nicole, stop being jealous, this is her day." The venom in her words out there for our entire network lit a fire in me. I scrolled further, seeing more posts, my sister's curated shots bragging about paying off $35,000 in loans. But I had Brandon's alert in my email, proof she was drowning in debt, faking her perfect life. I slipped into the venue's quiet office, Nicholas following, concern etched on his face. "What's going on?" he asked. I showed him the post, the comment, the calls. "She's lying about everything I said," voice low but firm. "And I'm done letting her win." I opened my laptop, pulling up a public data tool. Brandon had recommended a platform that scraped financial records from linked accounts. My sister's Instagram was tied to her real email, sloppy enough for me to trace. With Nicholas watching, his engineering brain catching up fast, I dug into her public profiles. The numbers didn't lie. She owed $42,000, not a penny paid off, hidden behind her glossy posts about luxury bags and brand deals. Brandon texted me a tip: use a browser extension to pull cached posts she'd deleted. I found one from months ago, a draft pitch to a tech brand using my fitness app idea, my face, my name. She'd been milking my work for clout, building her empire on my back. Nicholas squeezed my shoulder. "We can expose this," he said, his voice steady. But smart, not reckless. He'd worked with data systems too, knew how to keep it clean. I nodded, heart pounding, not with hurt now, but purpose. I called Brandon, who was already digging on his end. "Her accounts are a house of cards," he said. "She's got fake invoices to brands claiming your app as hers. I can pull metadata to prove it." My best friend texted to, guilt in her words. "I found something else. She's been emailing brands from a fake account in your name, saying you're sabotaging her." The betrayal cut deep, but her doubt in my sister gave me an edge. I asked her to forward everything, no questions. As the reception wound down, guests offering hugs and congratulations, I sat with Nicholas and planned. We'd build a website, clean and professional, to lay out every lie: her debt, her stolen ideas, her fake trademark. Brandon would help with the tech, my best friend with the proof, Nicholas with the... The morning after the wedding, Nicholas and I sat in our hotel room, laptops open, coffee going cold. My phone still buzzed with missed calls, 22 and counting, but I wasn't ready to face my family. Not yet. I'd sent that teaser email to Amber's biggest brand partner last night, a single line: "Check her financials before your next deal." It was enough to plant doubt, and now it was time to execute. Brandon, my coder friend, had been up half the night pulling metadata from Amber's public profiles using open-source tools. "She's sloppy," he texted. "Her invoices to brands are doctored. Your app idea's code is embedded in her pitch files." My best friend Heather sent another email, dump screenshots of Amber's fake account in my name, spreading lies to brands and family. "I'm so sorry I fell for her," she wrote. "I've got more if you need it. I leaned against Nicholas, his steady presence grounding me. We're doing this right, he said, double-checking the data. His engineering brain mapped out our plan like a circuit board, clean, precise, no loose ends. We built a website Amber exposed, simple but damning, hosted on a free platform to keep it anonymous yet public. I uploaded the evident screenshots of her fake trademark using my name, the stolen fitness app code, and cached posts showing her real debt $42,000, not a dime paid off. Brandon added a timeline linking her lies to dates she'd posted as me, making it clear she'd orchestrated my isolation. Heather forwarded an email Amber sent to a cousin claiming I'd called family irrelevant to my wedding, turning them against me. Ryan, Nicholas's best friend, called with a game changer. I remembered something from that influencer event, he said. Amber bragged to a brand rep about her app idea but slipped up and mentioned your name. I recorded it on my phone, just casual video, but it's clear. He sent the clip, and there it was. Amber laughing, saying Nicole's code was the base, but I made it sellable. My app, my work, her spotlight. The video was the final piece, raw and undeniable. With everything ready, I took a breath and hit publish on the website. It was live, accessible to anyone who searched her name. Next, I used a public reporting tool to flag Amber's Instagram for fraudulent content, attaching proof of her fake posts about paying off loans. The platform's automated system pushed a notification to her followers, a subtle nudge that her debt-free claim was under review. I didn't hack her account. I didn't need to. Public data and brand pressure would do the work. Nicholas drafted emails to her top 3 brand partners, a sportswear line, a local cafe, a tech startup attaching the website link, and Ryan's video. Thought you should know before your next campaign, he wrote, professional but pointed. Within hours, the fallout began. Heather called, voice shaking with excitement. The sportswear brand just pulled their deal. She's losing it. Amber's Instagram stories turned frantic, vague posts about misunderstandings and haters. Her follower count dropped by thousands overnight as comments flooded in, calling out her lies. Brands started distancing themselves, one tweeting, "We value transparency and are reviewing partnerships." My cousins messaged me confused, asking why Amber had lied about me. Heather, fully on my side, now sent more proof, a chat where Amber admitted to a brand rep she'd borrowed my identity for credibility. I should have seen it sooner, Heather said, guilt heavy in her voice. I'm here now, Nicole. I drove to my parents' house on Pine Avenue that evening, Nicholas by my side, ready to face the chaos. The driveway was packed, Mom's sedan, Dad's truck, even Heather's car. Inside, the living room looked like a party gone wrong. Half-empty wine glasses, crumpled napkins, balloons sagging from Amber's celebration. Mom stood when she saw me, face pale. Nicole, this is a disaster, she said, voice tight. Why would you do this? Dad sat silent, staring at his phone. Amber, eyes red, clutched her fiancé's hand, who looked like he wanted to bolt. Heather hovered near the door, nodding at me for support. Do what I asked, voice steady. Tell the truth. She stole my work, my name, and turned everyone against me. I pulled up the website on my phone, showing the evidence her trademark scammed the stolen app, the debt she'd faked paying off. Amber's voice cracked. I didn't mean for it to go this far, I just needed the attention. Mom jumped in defensive. She made a mistake, Nicole. This affects our family's reputation, my students, your dad's clients. Always the image, never the truth. Nicholas stepped forward, calm but firm. You skipped our wedding for a party built on lies. You let her spread rumors about Nicole, and now you're mad she fought back. Dad shifted, uncomfortable. We didn't know the full story, he mumbled. We thought you didn't want us there. I laughed, sharp and bitter. She emailed you lies from my account, did you ever ask me? Silence. Heather spoke up, voice soft but clear. I saw the emails, Nicole. She told me you were too busy to care about us. I was wrong to believe her. Amber's fiancé broke the tension, standing abruptly. I didn't sign up for this. he said, leaving her side. Amber sobbed, but it felt hollow rehearsed. I'm sorry, okay, she said. I just wanted to be seen. I shook my head. You wanted me invisible. You planned that party to erase my day, and you used my own code to do it. The room went quiet, the weight of her actions sinking in. Mom reached for me, but I stepped back. You chose her over me again. And now her lies are crashing down. As we left, my phone pinged. Another brand had dropped Amber, her follower count now a fraction of what it was. The website was trending locally, shared by Seattle tech forums and influencer watchdogs. Amber's career, built on my stolen work, was unraveling faster than I'd expected. But the real blow was coming. She'd have to face her followers, her brands, her family, and admit it all publicly. No filters, no excuses. And I wasn't done yet. I had one more move to make sure she'd never twist my life again. Driving away from my parents' house, the Seattle rain blurred the windshield, but my mind was clear, sharper than it had been in years. Amber's world was collapsing, and I wasn't going to lift a finger to save her. The next morning, her Instagram went live with a tearful video, her makeup-smudged voice shaky. I messed up, she said, admitting to faking her debt payoff, stealing my app idea, and using my name for her trademark scam. I'm sorry to everyone I let down. The comments exploded. Followers called her a fraud. Brands unfollowed her fiancé, nowhere in sight. The Amber Exposed website had gone viral in Seattle's tech circles, shared by coders and influencers alike, racking up thousands of views. Her career was over, her lies laid bare for the world to see. Back at our apartment, Nicholas poured me coffee as we watched the fallout unfold online. You did this, he said, pride in his voice. You took back your power. I nodded, but the victory felt heavy. Not because I regretted it, but because it took so much to get here. My phone pinged with texts from Mom and Dad, their tone desperate now. Nicole. We didn't know how far she went. Mom wrote, We're sorry. Can we talk? Dad's message was shorter. We made a mistake. Let's fix this. Even Heather, my best friend, sent a long apology admitting she'd been dazzled by Amber's world and should have trusted me sooner. Their words were too late, too hollow. I didn't reply. I opened my laptop instead, pulling up the journal I'd started after the wedding. Writing had become my way to process not just the betrayal, but a lifetime of being the invisible daughter. I'd also joined a Seattle-based online group for women navigating family drama, sharing stories anonymously. Their support, strangers who understood, helped me see I wasn't alone. One post stuck with me. Family isn't who you're born to, it's who shows up. Nicholas's parents had shown up, adjusting my veil, dancing with me, filling the void my family left. Brandon, my coder friend, had stayed up nights helping me expose Amber's lies. Even Ryan, Nicholas's best friend, had risked awkwardness to share that video. They were my people now. I made a choice that week, one I'd never thought I could. I blocked Mom, Dad, Amber, and even Heather on every platform: phone, email, social media. No explanations, no goodbyes. I didn't need their apologies or their guilt trips. My parents had known Amber's lies, at least in part, and chose to protect their image over my wedding day. Heather had picked networking over our friendship, even if she came around in the end. Amber's apology video was just damage control, not remorse. Cutting them off wasn't easy. My chest ached with the finality, but it was like shedding a weight I'd carried for 34 years. Nicholas and I started building new traditions. Sunday brunches with his parents replaced tense family dinners on Pine Avenue. Angela, his mom, called to check in, asking about my coding projects with genuine interest. Tyler, his dad, sent me articles on tech startups, joking about my next big app. Their warmth showed me what family could be: no scorekeeping, no favorites. At work, I threw myself into a new project, leading a team to build a health app, my own, not stolen. My boss noticed, pulling me aside a month later. You're killing it, Nicole, she said. Senior developer's yours if you want it. The promotion felt clean earned, not overshadowed by anyone's spotlight. Sitting on our balcony one evening, rain tapping the awning, I thought about what this all meant. The little girl who'd begged for her family's attention was gone, not because they finally saw me, but because I stopped needing them to. I'd spent years trying to fit their mold, but exposing Amber's lies taught me something bigger. Sometimes you have to fight fire. With fire, I said to Nicholas, my voice steady. When someone uses technology to hurt you like Amber did with my accounts, you use it better to defend yourself and reclaim your power. He smiled, squeezing my hand. You didn't just defend yourself, you won. That's the lesson I want to share. If someone manipulates you, whether it's family or not, don't wait for them to change. Gather your evidence, screenshots, emails, public data, and expose their lies where it hurts them most. Don't let their game keep you small. Protect your worth, even if it means walking away for good. I learned that blood doesn't make family, choice does. My family now is the one that showed up, not the one that left me with empty chairs. Thank you for listening to my story. It's been a journey, and sharing it helps me heal. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Tell me how you've dealt with family drama or stood up for yourself.